LaDawn Davis. This is ZMS.
Wednesday evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Rundown. I am Howard Grant. It is so wonderful to have you with us. Hope you guys are good out here. It is hump day, and a lot of persons are actually getting themselves prepared for the weekend. So I hope that you're good and jamming and being able to prepare yourself. If you're anything like me, I look forward to the weekend. I get to get up early with these children and do all these things. You know, I'm Papa Bear, praise God. But it's a beautiful day, and it's a great opportunity to be able to talk. It's a great deal of things that's in the news. And what we like to be able to do is give you the rundown on topical issues that have been floating and circulating in the news. Now, I don't know where you are throughout the country. I don't know where you are being able to watch us, whether you're in Turks and Caicos or in other spaces. But the dailies have given us a great deal today. Now, I thought about whether or not I should be able to talk about a gentleman who decided that he wants to be a lawyer, but a lady lawyer. It's too much. And I don't know whether or not I'm going to get into that. But I will say to you that there was a lot going on. And in the midst of this leadership battle, in the midst of being able to identify the back and forth, and the lines that's being drawn, and the political sign to be able to identify these things, and in the midst of a Lent season, my God, we're going to have a very good conversation. Joining me to be able to dive into that conversation is my very good friend, none other than Garth Roseborough. My brother?
Well, it's
good afternoon.
It's our usual Wednesday get-together, and you know how we do it. It's more of a barbershop conversation for us. That's, I think, where we first started.
That's where we first started.
Yeah, Carmichael Road, barbershop.
And then you go on with me on the radio.
It's been years.
It's been years.
People don't know how long it's been. It's been a very, very long time, Howard Grant, and so the night continues.
And talking about that years, throughout the course of our conversations and our relationship in terms of understanding nationally, we've been talking about leadership. Mm-hmm. We've been taking on this kind of a course to identify leadership. We've been being able to dissect. This has been our proverbial sports. Mm-hmm. We break down everything. Talk to me. We break down the stats. We break down all these particular things. And really been able to talk about this sort of an idea of what our expectations are for the country. I want to start off with this. Earlier today, guys, if you had an opportunity to be able to listen, then you would have known. If you don't, then you can go back and check it out. But today on my other platform that I actually do, I had an opportunity to be able to tap in and have a conversation with none other than Leroy Major.
Oh, mercy. The man of God and politician.
Leroy Major had, and for all intents and purposes, if you don't know, you can be able to pull this up on any one of the social platforms. Leroy Major, Obi Roberts, who's the ratified candidate in the Southern Shores constituency, had come out and started to be able to talk about what he would have done in the Marshall Road area, right in the Southern Shores constituency, and being able to clean up, and Obi being able to indicate that he would have gotten assistance from the Department of Correctional Facility, the Department of Corrections, to be able to rectify this area. And I thought that this was going to be the long and short of the video. But lo and behold, the next part of this video, stitched to this, Leroy Major pops up. I say, well, what is this? Leroy Major starts to be able to thank Obi. But it was sort of, I didn't understand what he was doing at first. He said, well, I want to thank you so much. And I want to thank you for being able to do this, because someone at the head of the PLP has done this. And this was as a result of you doing this, because we had given out this contract to cut the grass in this area, but someone took it from us. I said it was much. It was much. And so that conversation, which I'll be able to kind of stitch and let you hear in the social media spaces, that conversation, I just was curious that how you could blame somebody for these things. He said, how can you blame how can you blame an individual who has aspirations and an idea to be able to move forward for these particular things? How can you? We would have heard from a very long time that it wasn't a possibility that he was going to run. And now he's saying that he will represent in the constituency of Southern Shores come the next general election. but he still supports Brave Davis. He loves his prime minister. He loves his leader, but he will contest the seat in Southern Shores. I said, well, this is sort of oxymoronic. They can't support the leader and deflect from the organization. They got to be able to stand strong in the organization and be able to do that. Well, we're going to be able to take this kind of a commercial break. When we get back, we can find out a little bit more about this right after this.
Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training advises the public that the registration process of the 2026-2027 school year for public school students has commenced. Parents are urged to register their children before the deadline of the 31st of March, 2026. Here's what you'll need: your child's proof of identity, immunization card, their most recent transcript or report card, parents or guardians' proof of identity. Register before the deadline to ensure a seamless transition into the new school year. Don't delay. Register today.
The Cabinet Office wishes to advise the general public that daylight savings time will commence on Sunday, the 8th of March at 2 a.m. and will continue until 2 a.m. on Sunday, the 1st of November, 2026.
It's Bahamas' biggest night of worship. This February 27th, New Birth Ministry International and YBE Promotion presents Chandler Moore, I Shall Not Want, official praise concert. The voice that electrified a generation will be performing live.
This is Chandler Moore. I am coming to Nassau, Bahamas for the first time. February 27th, Nassau, Bahamas, Beach Soccer Stadium. I cannot wait to see y'all. Love you.
Also performing Nigel Lewis, DJ Godson, Shara J, and Oslin Jador. Friday, February 27th at the Beach Soccer Stadium in Nassau. Tickets on sale now at BahamasEatTickets.com. Sponsored by Embrace Resort in Staniel Key, Exuma, Bahamas. Inspiration 107.9. Say more. For info, call 242-357-0116 or call 242-427-8111.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Rundown with Howard Grant. Grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to jam with you on a day-to-day basis. Happy Wednesday. Happy birthday if you celebrated the birthday also. Happy anniversary, all those particular things. Hey, listen, I never plug this, but I got to let you guys know, if you want to be a part of what we're doing here at The Rundown, please give us a call at ZNES, and we'd be more than happy to accommodate you. I'd love you to kind of sit with me in one of these high chairs. Amen? We'd love to be able to have that kind of a conversation. Well, sitting with me today is none other than my very good friend, Garth Roseborough. And in the midst of this conversation, we started it off by being able to talk about some political anomalies, by being able to identify this in the constituency of Southern Shores, and the leadership that dwell thereof. We've identified the kind of a split in the political organization. We would have heard Leroy Major. Now, let's be decent as we say this. We would have heard Leroy Major indicate that he didn't know he wasn't going to get the nomination. The day he said to me that he asked the Prime Minister directly if he was going to get it. He said that the Prime Minister didn't give him a direct answer at the particular time, and he made this decision to be able to step back. This is the conversation that we had today. The thing is recorded. I got to put it all over the place. And then he indicated to me that he was content in the event that the other opponent, let's be decent, had gotten that particular seat, was ratified for that. But Obi Roberts got that. And so this kind of this tug of war that exists in this particular space, we got to talk about that. Let me know your thoughts.
Well, we saw Leroy Major emerging after a situation where I don't even want to go down Camp Road, but let's move from Camp Road into Southern Shores, where he became victorious as the candidate for the Progressive Liberal Party. Upon doing so, he was also made the chairman of Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation. We heard a few rumors that were basically just turning around in the Southern Shores area. It is an area that is agricultural. We have numerous farms in that area. And we understood that he was also involved in the production within that farming belt. When we saw him removed as the chairman of BAIC, in theological terms, we call it the handwriting on the wall.
Jesus.
You're on your way out.
My God.
Now, on the way out simply means that you are losing
But he could
favor.
pray for 15 more years.
Yeah, but 15 more years doesn't necessarily mean good news. It could be extremely devastating news. But in this handwriting on the wall and the moving out of a Leroy Major, we now look at the whole scenario of Jacob and Esau. We see Leroy Major is just a bit irritated at the fact that I am the one that has the birthright. I am Esau. I'm first in line. I've been here. I've been doing the best that I could. You are basically telling me that my best is not good enough, and I am hungry. I need something to eat. Now, I don't know who brought him the bowl of porridge, but the bowl of porridge simply told him, you are not going to be the one.
Let's have an honest conversation here, Garth.
I'm being very straight with you.
But let's talk like this. Political organizations, when you sit in the capacity of an incumbent, never ruffle the feathers of where you sit unless there is something that exists around you. There is a proverbial force field, there's a grouping of people, there is an influence that says we need to move this to be able to have a better chance to do what we need to do as an organization. Political organizations never seem or seek to castrate, to be able to dissect, to separate themselves from anyone. Well, let's be very clear. The PLP doesn't have that kind of a history that we can be able to identify, that they simply want to cut you off for cutting you off's sake. This particular administration has identified, and we're going to be clear, 10 people, and this is what I said to Leroy today. This administration, we've been hearing the rumors from 2023, mid-2023 to late 2023. We've been hearing these things. Early 2024, there has been a conversation that popped up in the media with allegations and speculations that says there's a group of people in Bimini get some envelopes. There's a meeting today, my phone blew right up. And telling me that they in Bimini right now, all these things are happening, and the PLP has a desire and a determination to win the next general election.
Okay.
They have done what other administrations within the confines of the PLP have not done. They have done away with this sort of a concept and idea of relationships and understood the responsibility they had to the organization and to winning. They had very clear conversations with persons, and they said, hey, listen, maybe you should take this particular route, maybe you should take this route. The stalwart councillors and other senior persons spoke back. They didn't necessarily deny them, because let's be clear, a great deal of people who've been ratified in certain constituencies, let's be clear, their name was on this list. Now, what has happened with Leroy Major, even though he's been indicating that he's been hijacked by the PLP, and it seems like this was sort of a sore spot for him, and he needed to be able to kind of, okay, this is the straw that breaks the camel's back, you've done enough, and being able to show yourself that do these particular things, and you know what you have done, and he stood up and he spoke today with clarity. This is the straw that broke the camel's back for him. But this issue didn't start with Obi. This issue started with speculations all the way. I told Leroy today, I said, for 8 months, Garth and I have been having conversations about you. I said this to him. He said, oh, I always, he said, Southern Choice is always a thing. I said, no, we've been talking about you for almost a year. And we've been talking about this concept and idea that we've heard that you wasn't going to get the nomination. We've heard that. And that coupled with all the salacious concepts and ideas that bubbles and billows out of the constituency. I didn't mention that to him. But if I hear it, I know he hears it. But so I'm asking you whether or not leadership should have this sort of this tense position, this sort of a fragile position, this thin-skinned posture, or whether or not you should understand that sometimes you got to take one for the team. Talk to me about this.
I think it's easier to take one for the team, and I'll tell you why. It was this very same person, Leroy Major, who said that it seems kind of unfair to be a backbencher in the House of Assembly. So if you're now going to run independent, let's just say by the miracle of heaven and earth, you actually are victorious. You tell me, Howard Grant, what part of the bench you can be on?
Back.
You're still on the back bench, and if you couldn't do anything on the back bench now, how the
Yeah, but
hell...
he there with pride now.
Ain't no pride. Bahamas.
He there with pride.
Pride was yesterday 2-4-2. Ain't no pride. We use a backbencher.
Listen, he there with pride.
There's nothing he would be able to do for Southern Shores as a backbencher. He said it himself. There's nothing he can do now, and there's nothing he'll be able to do then. If he's not favored in the Progressive Liberal Party now, how will he ever be favored as an independent if he was victorious for Southern Shores if the PLP is still the government?
Real quick, I believe that in the event that he shows up, there's one or two things going to happen. He's going to be extremely disappointed in the numbers that he gets as it relates to persons who vote for him or don't vote for him. Or he's going to split the PLP's vote and cause the FNM to walk into this particular constituency.
Maybe that's his intention. As other independents, it is their intention.
So a victory doesn't necessarily mean retention of the seat or the retention of this particular position.
The Bahamian people need to understand.
A victory could mean...
What you're saying.
A victory could mean, you know, good afternoon, Branford McCartney, I can say this. I was convinced that we was going for victory at the polls in 2012. I was convinced. But I realized that victory morphed mid-game. And the objective was no longer immediate access and being able to retain these things. We just didn't have the finances to get over certain humps. That's just what it was.
That is the truth.
However, with the retention of 13 seats, 13% of the votes,
you're causing upset.
Hubert Ingram was gone.
Yes.
So victory doesn't always have to look like holding the champion stick. But victory could be this sort of an idea, maybe egotistical, maybe this sort of a revenge concept. But victory could show itself in different forms. So is that what you're saying to me?
So
that his desire could be to upset the apple cart.
So, Mr. Craftiness, you want me really to stick you with it? How many votes do you give Leroy Major in Southern Shores?
Leroy is my friend.
Because I know 100 votes can't split nobody, so you got to give him more than that.
Leroy is my friend.
Okay, let's move the conversation.
Let's leave that right there. In the meantime, outside of the House of Assembly, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis commented on the sale of the Grand Lucayan resort today, and the subject is a lot of back and forth in recent days, particularly in the face of the reporters deal with the collapse, right? And the project's developer has since refuted such claims, but Dr. Minnis today demanded that the government show me the money. Check this out.
Confidence and authoritative voice said the money is in the bank. I checked, it's not Scotia, it's not Royal, it's not Bank of Bahamas. If the money in the bank, then what's the problem? Show us the money, even show us 10 million, 20 million. You sold it for 120, show us something. So I don't know which bank they're talking about.
Well, I don't know which bank they're talking about either, but the government is content with this particular position. Concord Wilshire this week assured us that it continues to work collaboratively and constructively with the government to redevelop the Grand Lucayan property. The company says that decisions remain active. Discussions are very active and they're proactive, and really being able to do these things and align the objective and to revitalize the belingered property. So it's important that we have a very clear conversation. I want to talk to you about this, Garth. Let's talk to you about this. I said to you, Minnis 4 weeks ago gave us nothing but kicks and giggles on social media.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Minnis 4 weeks ago showed us the most recent dances. He lifted the spirits a great deal of persons. He did all these challenges. It was great being able to see him in this particular capacity as an independent candidate.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know whether or not he saw that he had the victory in hand and presented himself as the proverbial hare that just was taking a nap because the tortoise could never reach him. But now, because of the shifting of the game, I'm seeing him formalize himself and present himself in a particular manner. We can get to this this Grand Lucayan concept, but I'm watching Minnis formalize this concept, take on this kind of a position, and really be able to speak strength to these positions. I wonder why. Talk to me about it.
Well, definitely it's campaign time. Definitely with the...
But it was campaign time 4 weeks ago.
No, it wasn't campaign time. It was time to simply sit on the dock of the bay. Those were his words, sitting on the dock of the bay. And he said he'll be here sitting on the dock of the bay. And you know the song. All you do is waste time. But the minute an announcement was made, we got to get off the dock. We got to start to get to work.
And that announcement was?
That the PLP had ratified one young, vivacious, vibrant, energetic, very, very confident, I'd say, Robin Dawn Lines for the PLP in...
And I don't know whether or not anything could shift the numbers. And like I said, I just want to be able to have a very clear conversation. I don't know whether or not anything could shift the numbers. We saw Ron Duncombe, in his particular capacity, got 1,900 and I think 40-something votes in the last election. Minnis got 2,500 and won. The other persons collectively got 30 and something like that. And we've identified those things. But when they come back, I want to talk to you a little bit more about these things. Because is this emotional? Can you shift the mindset of the people with your words at this particular time? Have you not stained the position of these particular things? Let's just be very clear. Well, have you not stained this? Because you've already then said, no, NPO. These things don't leave the Bahamian conscious, the Bahamian psyche. We're going to be able to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, Garth and I are going to be able to chop this down and really be able to look into this leadership concept after this.
I'm Desmond Saunders. I want you to tune in to the new Weekend Edition, Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m., where we have a whole lot of new stuff for you. All right, so I'll give you a sneak preview. Boldly Bahamians, Sizzle Saturdays, Parliamentary Bench, just to name a few. So buckle up and get ready for the ride. Coming this fall, the new Weekend Edition. Stay close.
Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
Shalom, I'm Arthur Bailey, apostle and overseer of Arthur Bailey Ministries and host of Israel International, inviting you to join us for Searching the Scriptures on this station every Sunday at 9 a.m. I look forward to searching the Scriptures with you and your family. That's 9 a.m. on Sunday. Check it out, and your life will never be the same in Yeshua's name.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
The thought of colon cancer never really crossed my mind until 2019, when a very good friend of mine was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I was shocked. Everybody was shocked because he was a picture of perfect health. He was young, athletic, successful, and full of life. Many of us are still in disbelief. I started to question my own health because if it happened to him, surely it could happen to me. Then came the fear, the anxiety, and everything else in between. Facing your own mortality is very sobering. But for me, I decided right then to have a colonoscopy. and I'm glad I did.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer diagnosed in Bahamian men and women. Fortunately, almost all colon cancers are preventable. A colonoscopy or some other appropriate form of colon cancer screening is recommended for everyone over the age of 45. During a colonoscopy, we can detect and remove colon polyps that may grow and later become colon cancers. Don't wait until you develop symptoms, such as blood in your stool, abdominal pain, a significant change in your bowel habits, or unintentional weight loss. These may all be indications of a severe problem that requires immediate attention. If you're over the age of 45 or have any of those symptoms, talk to your doctor about the benefits of colon cancer screening today.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Rundown. I am Howard Grant. We're sitting here with none other than God Roseborough, talking foolishness on the break. It's grateful to have you here. Now, we talk about leadership now. Let's just get into this conversation. We got a little time, so I won't be able to break it down. Okay. We've already identified this. If you were following us, if you just tuned in, we were just having a conversation. We listened to sort of a clipping there from Dr. Minnis and being able to say, where's the money? It's more specifically talking about Grand Lucayan and really being able to show up this administration for what they have done or what they haven't done, right, in either particular manner. And as we see that, it seeks to be able to bring light back to his leadership. He also said today that the Marvin Dame story that is floating all around the country would not have made a second news cycle, which brings light back to him in this particular position. And that's a difficult thing for me. I know you don't want to talk about this. I see you back, you didn't get, oh Lord, how would we get? This is information that is in the news cycle on every single network in this country. This is current local communication and local information. Information, if you don't know, as a result of a siege and stopping in the United States of America, right in Fort Lauderdale, 4 miles off the coast, there was a gentleman by the name of Malcolm, oh Lord, I forget his last name, but his first name is Malcolm. He found himself in this kind of a position, being seized. They read him his Miranda rights. They found 220 kilos of cocaine on his boat and 240-some cough syrup, which they use to make a substance that young people call lean. He's an activist. So he put Sprite in it. And anyway, I can't tell other people all this stuff, but this is what it is. It's an activist. They use that. Smuggling it in to the United States of America. And on due diligence and being able to identify these particular things, we would have heard the rumors about an affiliation, an association, and then a news release comes out from the ratifying candidate for the constituency of Mount Moriah in the person of Marvin Dames. Now, this story is peculiar. As we're looking at this and we identify these particular things, the story is a peculiar story. We don't understand it, but he distanced himself from not necessarily his business partner. Mr. Malcolm was his business partner, but distanced himself from Mr. Malcolm's action and saying that we had no affiliation with these things and no awareness with that. There's a great deal of speculations talking about what Marvin Dame should do or he should not do at this particular point. But if we're going to be very clear and honest with this, as we're looking at this and we're making this kind of a determination and identifying this, for Minnis to be able to say that this wouldn't make a second news cycle, it's very peculiar, Dr. Minnis. I said to you that he seeks to be able to formalize himself and resurge himself and revive himself as a proverbial strong leader. He wants you to be able to, he wants to paint this in your memory, in your mind. Whatever negative that he would have done, yeah, let's do away with that. But remember my strength. This would not have made a second news cycle, but that's peculiar. Because if I remember correctly, Howard Grant, Marvin Dames was in the courts prior, under his administration, in the capacity as Minister of National Security for the Barbara Hanna issue. And that made 1, 2, 3 numerous news cycles. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Numerous news cycles. Now, I believe the saving grace for Dr. Dwayne Sands, who was also implicated in this particular thing, would have been the affiliation of Marvin Deems, who may have been the saving grace at that time. Because independently, when Dr. Dwayne Sands had his issue, he was gone. When Peter Turnquest, in his particular capacity as Deputy Prime Minister, had his issue, his little debacle and the issues that they were kind of tussling with and dealing with from a personal standpoint, he was gone. So how can now we go back to Dr. Minnis' leadership and make this kind of determination that this would make it? What is he trying to say from a leadership standpoint? What does he want the people to see? Is this a ploy, a position to be able to project in the minds of the Bahamian people of the strength of his leadership in comparison to the strength of the leadership that exists there? Or is he making a run for this sort of an idea to say that, I still good for you guys, you know, come check me out? What is he saying? Talk to me.
Oh, Howard.
I know you was in here.
Howard.
God, this to run down.
Boy,
let's run it down.
You're trying to run me out of town. Listen, man, I like where you were going with the narrative because he's making mention of the Grand Lucayan deal. And we want to know what is the merit in him doing that, right? Now,
it needs to stop.
That particular type conversation.
His administration paid $1 million a month for the Grand Lucayan. Purchased it, didn't have anything set, they didn't sell it. All of these things gone. All of these things would have gone through. Now, I ain't fighting Dr. Minnis. I'm only telling you what exists on paper, what exists in the annals of time and history, and what you cannot refute. Even though you seek to kind of project the concept in the people's mind, we accept that. We understand that you're under tremendous pressure in Kalani, but you ain't running for Prime Minister no more. You're only dealing with Kalani. And so it's incumbent upon you in your particular capacity, though you were the former Prime Minister, to recognize that this fight is in Kalani. Because if you continue to be able to speak in this manner, we're going to have to be able to regurgitate and bring back some things that aren't necessarily the nicest. It ain't the nicest thing or the most pleasant thing to say. Talk to me.
What you're not bringing to the people tonight, Howard Grant, is that in the words of Dr. Minnis, I don't lay pipe, I pump iron. Now, right now, he's pumping iron when he should be laying pipe. I'm just being real. You see, because the laying of the pipe happens in Kalani, but when you want to pump iron, you're trying to tell everybody. I look at that leadership. This ain't no time to pump no iron. You got to start laying this pipe. Now, Robin Lyons has...
Pumping the iron is preparation. Laying the pipe is execution.
I don't know what y'all fellas do. I innocent in this land. Okay, so, you know, I try to keep things...
I talk a gym talk now. I don't know what he talking about. Let's go ahead.
But listen, man, the truth be told is that his narrative has changed since the entry of the ratified candidate for the PLP. Why all of a sudden the conversation about the Grand Lucayan, when this has been occurring over the last year or so? Now he's talking about situations.
His administration did nothing with the Grand Lucayan.
And he's talking about current
His administration did absolutely nothing with the Grand Lucayan.
We understand that, Howard. But once again, he's seeking
the Grand Lucayan sits in the midst of a debacle in Grand Bahama that the Prime Minister seeks to be able to rectify, not only with the Port Authority, but also with the environment itself, prone to hurricanes, going through trial and tribulation. The Grand Lucayan is just another one of a succession of issues that happen in Grand Bahama. Howard. The Ginsuma, Cub Fortuna, what else? Castaway would breaking down and they have to be able to retain that. But listen, Grand Bahama is not, it doesn't begin and end in Grand Lucayan, in the Grand Lucayan or the Lucayan Hotel in Port Lucayan. In fact, if you walk right across the street from the Grand Lucayan, there is a marketplace with over 120 people who are in a unified themselves to be able to talk about they're seeking to get lower rent because the foot traffic had moved from Grand Lucayan to Celebration Key. The conversation for survival doesn't begin and end with the Grand Lucayan. The government's responsibility is to be able to jumpstart the economic engine that exists in Grand Bahama, and they have to do that. But this kind of a conversation, relentlessly talking about where Concord Wilshire will be able to take it or not. Listen to me. If I was an investor, I would do the same thing. I just want to be very clear with you. It is a beautiful property. It's strategically located. geographically located close to the United States of America. People could hop over from South Florida. This is absolutely beautiful. When I worked at the Grand Lucayan, we'll have 3,000 check-ins a day. We was making money, but things around the world was good. After 2008, the recession, after the hurricane 2004, after all these things, Grand Bahama did not catch itself. It just did not. Minnis knows that because he was in the midst of that, even in the midst of a recession. So why perpetuate this sort of an idea that is lay everything on the shoulders of an administration? You need to stop. This is disingenuous.
Howard, the statements that he's making is not meant to be corrective. You know that. I know that.
Yeah, but it has to be.
The people of the Bahamas know. The statements here are meant to put a distance between Robin Don Lines and himself for the victory of Kalani.
So he's seeking to remind people.
Yes.
He's seeking to remind people that I was the prime minister. Meanwhile.
Yes.
Meanwhile, on Mackey Street, people are floating rumors around that they take Minnis' picture down.
Yeah.
The window broke. Somebody break the window with Minnis' picture on Mackey Street. But I'm saying to you, whilst the organization that you would have come from, the organization that propelled you to the position of leadership in this country, is trying to be able to distance themselves from you, you seeking to remind the country and your constituents in Kalani that I was the prime minister.
So we go back now to the narrative of Leroy Major versus O.B. Roberts. This ain't got nothing to do with the party. This has nothing to do with the government. This has nothing to do with national leadership. What this has to do with is, remember who I was, remember now who I am, look at her, look at me, who is the one that you would choose?
None of this is good.
And he's saying to him, I have that authority, I have that ability, I have that knowledge. I understand how this works. I can tell you about the Grand Bahama deal. I can tell you about when things are nefarious in this country and how things should work. I am the one who's learned. I am the one with the black book and the red book. I have secrets. I can tell you some things. This is Hubert Alexander, Minister, former Prime Minister, versus a young Robin Don Lines, who's an attorney at law, who failed as chairman of the Progressive Labour Party and coming to challenge me. He's trying to make a statement for victory. That's all this is. And worst case scenario, like you would say, Robin may win, but he sure as hell know it ain't gonna be them. Now you know who them is. That's the same story of Leroy Major and O.B. Robertson.
Now we gotta be able to have a show about these independents, because is the objective leadership, is the objective acquisition, or is the objective eradication of a political organization? And we know that a great deal of people who support the Free National Movement also are persons who sort of shift with concepts and ideas and are willing to give other persons, fringe organizations, a try. When historically, traditionally, when persons vote for these fringe organizations or these independents, it's normally out of the support bucket of the Free National Movement.
That is correct.
Out of the support bucket of the Free National Movement.
That is correct.
If you're a learned politician and you pay enough attention and you seek to be able to go independent, you know that. I don't care how popular you is, you may get 1,000 votes, 1,200 votes, but no cigar. Many times, no cigar. You got to get finances and give these assurances that you could be able to get over that hump. In fact, historically, how independents found themselves victorious outside of Long Island, let's be very careful, because Larry Cartwright got his victory as an independent because the people of Long Island said we wanted him for the Free National Movement. And so they cut a deal, hey, you gonna do this after we put you in.
Well, Whitney Bastian got in on the merits of the PLP. What you
okay,
so
so I'm saying to you, outside of that, for independents to be able to find their victory,
they gotta align themselves.
Not only align themselves, the political organization, for the most part, has to say, we ain't gonna run nobody
against you,
and we'll be able to show our support behind you.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
Yes.
So if you are an independent, you ain't got your own money, and you don't have no political backing, you could get 1,000, 1,200, maybe even 1,300 votes, but no cigar. And that's what's happening here. But it will always relentlessly be, like at the top of our conversation, with the DNA, it will always be in the upset of a particular political organization. And if I'm going to be honest with you, These independents are showing themselves strong, whether the coalition of independents, whether it be the independent candidates, whether it be any of these fringe organizations or individuals who seek to be able to run, their alignment and their voting bloc is coming out of the Free National Movement. The PLP's base is still intact for the most part.
Please appreciate, Howard, that most Bahamian people understand politics extremely well. They know factually that there are only really and truly two parties in this country.
Yeah.
But their understanding of the God that they serve, may not be your God, but the God that they serve, they feel that once they pray, especially during this Lenten season, that God is going to prevail and they're going to be victorious. Upon losing, like some people that we know who has the party, who's lost on more than 3, 4, 5 occasions, and still trying on this occasion, would say to you, oh, God was trying to tell me next time, not this time. And
this was 6 or 7 next time.
This is what happened.
Which God we listening to? We can need this.
So
you need to get a new tune in.
So wisdom says, based on what you just said, you need to find a way to align yourself with one of the major entities. You have to go in Trojan horse. And if you can't infiltrate into a major party and gain their favor, as we've seen where the Leroy Majors have gained favor, lost favor, still trying to be favored, and ain't no one looking in their favor, you are out of favor, trying to get favor, but you don't want to go into the favorite house. You got to be kidding me.
But in yes, out of favor, we are out of time. This was a very good conversation.
But I'm your favorite guy. That's why you keep calling me on a Wednesday night. Okay, I don't want them sing now.
I'm not going to fight you, right?
You call me, I come.
Right? It was a wonderful conversation. Tonight we're just talking about leadership. It has nothing to do with individuals. It has, these are the persons who have presented themselves accordingly to be able to articulate their leadership and to be able to make you to understand what they've done or haven't done. And so based upon historic context and access that we have, we got to be able to talk about this. And we got to get the rundown on these particular concepts. So we talked about Leroy Major and we talked about Dr. Hubert Minnis. And this is what we're going to do in this political season. We got to dissect, trisect, and bisect, whatever we got to do to identify whether or not this is the leadership that we're looking for in the next dispensation of the Bahamas. Garth, I want to thank you, my brother, for being able to sit with me.
It's been a pleasure.
You're a good, decent man.
Have a good night.
Great show, guys. Going to be right back. We got a special segment in store for you right after this.
Cabinet Office wishes to advise the general public that daylight savings time will commence on Sunday, the 8th of March at 2 a.m. and will continue until 2 a.m. on Sunday, the 1st of November, 2026.
Hi, I'm Brent from CBS Bahamas. Listen, if you're a contractor or tradesman, you want to be a part of our Preferred Contractors Program. By enrolling in our Preferred Contractors Program, you'll save 10% automatically at both of our locations. And guess what? The more you spend, the more you save. That discount can increase. Register today at cbsbahamas.com/register using your trade name to be automatically enrolled.
Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? Keep your family and home safe with these few fire safety preparation and prevention tips. Ensure that your home has working smoke detectors. They will alert you if there is smoke and fire in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible so no one trips or falls on the way out during an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the fire department. Let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
Hello, my name is Taya Roll, and I'm a sunflower at NCA. We learn and do fun activities. Come along and join us.
Become a member of one of our groups today. Sunflowers, ages 5 and 6 years. Brownies, ages 7 to 10 years. Rangers, ages 14 to 17 years. And Guiders, age 18 and older. For more information, call 322-4342 or 356-5143. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
And we are back. Welcome back to the Rundown. We got a special segment for you. All the way from the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting Department of Gender and Family Affairs is none other than the chairperson for the National Women's Advisory Council, Sophia Thompson-Williams, and Akira Big Gabriel. Sitting here with us. I try to get the names right, make sure I get it together. It's so wonderful to see you. You got some great stuff coming up this week. Talk to me about it.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for having us on tonight.
You look beautiful tonight.
Thank you very much.
Gotta get my orange jacket. Okay, go ahead, right?
We have been planning for the past 6 months, Howard, a series of events leading up to International Women's Day, which, of course, as you know, takes place on the 8th of March, which is, you know, a few Sundays away. And so we've planned on Friday, the 27th of February, our official opening and launch, which will be taking place at 11 a.m. at Bahamas Harvest Church. Now that event, my church, by the way, just to let you know. Go ahead. That event is free of charge, and so we're inviting. At 11 a.m. At 11 a.m. and we're inviting everyone to come out and be a part of the official opening ceremony and launch. And I say and launch because we have a special keynote address which will be given by noted attorney Marian Bethel.
Oh, really? And
she, of course, is the elected commissioner at the Inter-American Human Rights Commission. And so this is a very, very important role that a Bahamian woman has been elected to.
This is exciting. So this is something that you've done. How many years you've been doing this now for National Women's Day, you said?
International Women's Day is one of those special days, Howard, that the United Nations has, and countries around the world observe those days. And one such day is the International Women's Day. When we focus on the woman, when we recognize distinguished women, when we empower women, when we promote women and things pertaining to women. But in our case, all of our activities
does this
are
extend
gender
into the household also?
neutral.
Does my wife run my life today?
Absolutely. All of
today's Women's Day.
Yes. All of these events that we've planned are general neutral. And so we're inviting the entire family, as a matter of fact. So men can come and so can teenagers, children are invited to attend. And so that event is taking place at Bahamas Harvest on the 27th.
On the 27th
That's
at 11
Friday.
It's totally free if you want to be able to be there. Tell me about some other events that you can.
The next event is the Empowerment Symposium, and that is an all-day event that's taking place.
Empowerment Symposium.
Yes, also at Bahamas Harvest. And at that event, which begins at 8:30 in the morning and goes through until 4:30. We begin, of course, with several sessions, starting with the health and wellness session. We are focusing on mental wellness. And so we have about 5 to 6 experts in the field of mental health and wellness, which is led by Dr. Davina Knowles Robinson and psychiatric nurse Mrs. Jacqueline Barnaby. And there will be psychologists and psychiatrists who will be conducting that particular session.
I'd like to ask some questions about that, as get deep into these things. I really enjoy this type of stuff. Mental health and wellness, when you start to have this kind of a conversation, more specifically about women, to identify that statistically, why would you go in that particular direction? Has there been so much evolving information to indicate that there's
women and
issues?
men? Remember what we said a minute ago, Howard. This is not just about women. This is about our nation. This is about issues that affect everyone. This is about us looking around our country and seeing that there are some issues that we have. And so we need to have a conversation around these issues. And so we're bringing these issues to the fore, but we're bringing them through the experts who work in those areas, who are trained, who have experience, who can tell us what is going on and perhaps how they go about treating and bringing about a change in those areas. As we drive around the streets in Nassau, we see so many people walking the streets. We don't know why. And so we have to look at the experts and to determine what is going on. Why is there so much people who seem to be unwell? And even in our workplaces, in our homes, there may be people who are functioning at a certain level, and then on another day,
we learn a new concept now, and we have put a lot of people on the spectrum. This is not something that we would have done in the past. We just identified you in a particular category, and we say, okay, that's it. But now we're seeing people,
there's treatment.
And then we may make light of it, and so this one laying prostrate on the spectrum, right, or whatever these particular things is. But it's very important, and I want to be able to commend you
that
for
we
being able to take on
diagnose,
this.
that we talk about it.
This is good stuff.
Conversation.
So, Ms. Gabriel, tell me about your expertise in these particular areas, what you would have done, or what you're going to be focusing on coming into this thing.
Thank you. So, during the Saturday symposium, as Madam Chair had indicated, we have several events going on. One of those sessions is the legal session, where we will be providing, my team and I will be providing legal advice for members of the public. Please come out. This is time for you.
Let me hear what you do. Okay, so now, let me break this down as a man, because you're talking to a man. You're breaking this down as a man. Let's go to church and ask Jesus. Jesus, we can be able to make sure. The second session, we can do empowerment. Women, you all can do this. Third section. Now, if you can't do it, we got lawyers for you. Talk to me about this.
We understand, and the reason for this segment is the fact that we understand that persons usually seek legal information when a crisis happens, and our role is to prevent that. We want to bring information to the public to let them know what rights they have afforded to them, what protection measures are available to them, what next steps to take when they are faced in a particular crisis. And so this segment is not just theoretical, it's practical.
Talk to me about some examples and bring that kind of a practical.
So we have various topics that we're going to be addressing. Domestic violence, which everyone knows is a key critical area that we face in our community. Juvenile justice. Why are so many of our juveniles faced with matters before the court, and they probably don't even know the
not concentrate on just women?
No.
Everybody, it's everybody.
We also have matters relating to employment law, insurance, custody and maintenance.
It's heavy what you're doing.
Yes.
So if your mother died or your daddy
Wills
died,
and estates,
and you're supposed to leave something for
yes,
you,
landlords
you
and tenants,
and the insurance people doing this and this, you can help them.
We are bringing the information to. Listen to me.
It's a long session.
It takes.
People can be there for 2 days.
And the beautiful part about it, time does not permit us to get into the deep issues, and so we have breakout sessions available.
Really?
Where you
so I have a concentrate area that
yes,
is really
please come, bring your questions. We can provide you with the legal assistance, expertise.
So this has got to be more than once a year. Is it got to be able to? Is it got to be more than once a year?
It has to be.
At least once a quarter.
Yes.
At least once a quarter. And be able to, but then, you know, maybe have women protest and just leave the, I'm not cooking today, I'm leaving.
This is my legal right.
This is too much. This is too much. I gotta hate my wife. I come into the session too.
Please.
I can be right there with my wife.
Yes.
I have to tell her, hey, listen, not this party, this ain't for you. Right?
We believe that legal literacy is empowerment.
Yeah.
Once persons know what their rights are, they are empowered to make the necessary changes that we actually want to see in this society, and those are the positive ones.
I like that. So tell me more about, okay, so you got the empowerment session, you got church, we got the empowerment session. On the Saturday, we're going to be able to have the legal session.
All day.
What else is in there? I like you talking about health and wellness. What else are you going to be dealing with?
We're dealing with finance, which is very important. I like to repeat after the chairperson of that particular session, Cleora Farquharson, and she says, we are taking finance from birth to death. And beyond.
And beyond.
And beyond.
That
we're talking about succession planning there. And beyond. After you would have demised.
I can say something
we're leaving something for the next generation and the next.
And it's free.
We haven't in this society really focused on legacy.
No.
We have casual conversations about it. We know that it exists from a biblical standpoint. We understand the principles thereof.
Yes.
For the most part, we separate ourselves from that because we see ourselves, many of us, not all of us, many of us, as working class.
Yes.
And that's for them.
Yes.
You know, that's them people. Right? And they normally put a hue to it.
Yes.
Right? But the truth is that this legacy conversation is crucial.
Yes.
And being able to understand how to deal with money. Because the truth, if we can be honest, anytime any of us need money, we always go to the woman of the house.
Yes.
Grammy.
Oh, absolutely.
I can need a little thing.
And Grammy got it in a bra.
And so that session is going to teach us not just about budgeting and financial planning, but it will also teach us about legacy for the second, third, and fourth generation.
This is exciting.
All right.
This is exciting stuff. I got to be able to say this to you, and I want to commend you for being able to take on this, and also I want to be able to speak right to your minister and say that this is crucial, and if you're going to be doing this, expand it also to International Men's Day. You know, David Williams
we do have
international. They like to heal me, right? But you got to be able to expand this, and you should be able to do this once a quarter. If we're going to truly empower people, it has to be expansive.
Yes.
It shouldn't just be this sort of a concentrate area.
And it goes right into our themes.
I want to thank you guys so kindly for being able to do that with us and being able to sit with us, Chairperson Sophia Thompson-Williams, and also Akira Gabriel. Yeah, let your husband know I get a name. That's a wonderful thing, guys. That does it for the rundown this evening. Be sure that you stay locked in at ZNS Network for the Bahamas tonight at 11 p.m. It's our final newscast in the country with the latest in news and information with Colville Pryfrom. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm Howard Grant. Thanks for joining.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.